we have a matching Bentley and a Bentley. However, this one is B3 HGB and that one's B4 HGB. This doesn't look too dissimilar actually from the little ride-on Mini that Driving with Nico had at Castle Combe Mini Action Day. Only it's a Bentley, of course. It might well be made by the same company, just with a different body on top. Either way, it's been made to match this particular one. This is a Bentley Continental with a W12 engine. Very posh seat covers in there, and mats. Not sure I like those. They would get very dirty very quickly, I think. Either way, obviously a car meant to be quite luxurious. It fulfills that brief perfectly. Going back to this one just before we move on. Look, they got a Bentley Bear driving it as well. Looking very casual.
Hey, that's a toy car.
But it's not quite as quick as Nico's little Mini Cooper somehow. Ford Sierra Sapphire RS 4x4. So all that power can go through all four wheels. Helps distribute the power out a little bit. Cosworth power, of course. Rear spoiler. Cool little car. Saw plenty of these at the Ford meet at Brooklands the same day as the Hubnut Social. Another classic Mini, this one being a Mark II by the looks of it. External door hinges, sliding window. No reversing lights on the rear light clusters. Been several events. Likelihood is I've seen this at a car show before, not too far away from here, at the village of Downton. A name familiar to Mini enthusiasts because of Downton Tuning. They usually hold a car show every year at the same time as their Cuckoo Fair. And this is part of the club there, so I'm sure I've seen that at previous shows there. Not that I filmed that one because those shows were pre me doing YouTube. This one's been tuned up by Steve Harris of Harris Motorsport, quite well known in the area for doing things with minis. We saw a Cobra replica at the Hubnut Social. Here is another one, 2013 registration. Edelbrock engine in there. I will say it's very convincing. However, I'm not sure there's a lot of room for your hand behind that gear knob somehow with the other side. But there we go. Looks very cool. I'm pretty sure I've seen this at other shows as well. I quite like them actually. Really like the shape of the Cobras. Love these though, the headrests. Obviously for safety if you roll the car as well, but you got these on here as well. Sun visors, tinted blue acrylic by the looks of it. It's a very smart looking car this. And of course side exit exhausts as well. BMW E30. As a Ford pickup's about to leave by the looks of it. But BMW E30 H-Reg. Looking very shiny, very cool. Classic shape. You see plenty of these around when I was younger as well. Ooh, lovely interior. Love the way how it faces towards the driver. Steering wheel's gorgeous. There goes the Ford pickup. MGA 1600cc engine. Tiny interior mirror. Wood rim wheel. These things are very nice. Love the way how you have the brake light here and then indicator just above it, but it all blends together nicely. Yes, they're two separate units, but it doesn't look wrong. Another Vauxhall, this time a Cresta. Love the way how the handles blend seamlessly in with the trim running along to the wing. Little Cresta, quarter lights, actual wing mirrors, two-tone paint. Face as well, actually. I had a model car one of these, and it was the convertible version. It's actually a very similar colour to this. It's almost like it's grown up into that. Not quite the same mind, but there we go. Ford Mustang GT, 4.6 litre V8, £18,000. Pause here for info. Got a blue stripe. MGB. What's the convertible? Triumph Spitfire. Have a look under here. Easy access for all the engine with the bonnet flipped forwards. Washer bottle just there. Battery. Love the way the suspension's showing off down there. That is cool. Here's a rubber bumper or plastic bumper MGB GT. Slightly raised suspension compared to the earlier models, and of course plastic bumper on the front for safety. Of course British Leyland were trying to sell these in America, which is why all these things were done. It was to meet American legislation, and unfortunately it ruined the ride. Much anger, much hatred. Everyone's rolling out now, it seems. Austin Maxi makes a perfect bed on wheels, because that was one of its little tricks. It was highly advertised at the time. These were mainly used as sales rep cars during the 70s. Lovely exhaust on it. I love the interior. Very nice. Love these covers for the spot lamps. In fact, I think Ian of Team Lock Classics got one that's quite similar for his rear one. Well, basically his reversing light on his Traveller. Either way, very cool. If I remember rightly, they came from Japan for his. Austin 1300 GT. Quick little car. Of course, Hubnut drove one of these not too long ago. Love the wheel trims on this. And the GT logo up here, of course, probably the same badge as on the Mini Clubman 1275 GT. All these models on the back parcel shelf. It's very cool. Period radio in there. Leyland badge. Do like the styling of these actually. They are really nice. Always remember these due to their weirdly shaped rear windows. Pop-up sunroof, so splits in half actually. This is a Serengeti model. Spotlights. Next to it, someone's gone fully Italian for this and showing off their car massively. Why wouldn't you? But look, Fiat 124. New Jersey plate on it. Historic, obviously an import from the United States, which is why it looks in such good order. Later bumpers, of course, for the American legislation, the American market, so they can be sold in the United States. The only thing better than one Fiat is two of them. Have a quick look. Being attacked by a flag. Lovely little interior. We'll never not love a Fiat 124. Triumph. This is a Herald. Wing mirrors. Anything else? Lovely wooden interior on these things. Lovely seats as well. And the cushion in the back. This is a Dello sports car. It was built in Birmingham. The story of this goes that Dello was a mix between two people, so taking a bit of each of their last names. The names were Ken Dellingpole and Ron Lowe, so obviously Dello. Apparently it started off as a bit of a tuning company, tuning up cars. Then they eventually made like a trials car. And eventually they put those trial cars, at least the bodies of them, into road going use, and that's what this is. Very cool little thing, something different. And then next to it, Audi Quattro, H-Reg. Lovely wheels, lovely graphics, seats, and everything. 5-speed gearbox, Crystal Silver it's called, 1991. Registered on the 1st of January 1991, so there we go. 242,000 miles. Crikey. Clearly well used and well loved, this one. VW Golf GTI Mark II, this one's a 5-door. Always love the seats on a GTI. Interior. These cars were often the hot hatch choice of the time, alongside the Peugeot 205 GTI and even the Fiesta XR2. Jaguar S-Type. Of course, these were made under the time when Jaguar was owned by Ford. Love the colour of this one, and the interior always will be a lovely place to sit. Do you like the styling actually of the rear of the car? It looks good. Fiesta XR2 Mark II. Similar gear knob actually in that to the Mini's original one. Loving the little steering wheel on there, it's tiny, the switch panel, everything. Would quite like an XR2 in my life at some point. Of course, pepper pot wheels as well, spot lamps on the front. Just everything about this is perfect. The only thing that would make it better in my book is if it was red, but that's just personal preference. Goodbye Bertoni X19 and Lancia Monte Carlo. This is a Doretti. Can't say I know a lot about these cars. Very lovely interior. The back end looks not too dissimilar actually from the Austin Healey Sprite, in a way. Depends on the angle you're looking. Wire wheels. A Dino Ferrari, of course named after Enzo Ferrari's son, who tragically passed away. This is a replica, I suppose. Underneath all this is a Lotus Europa. It's just got a Ferrari Dino body shell on top. It's very cool. Vauxhall Cavalier Mark III 1.8i. Of course, another car that used to be everywhere but now no longer is. Oh, LS trim, same as my mum's Astra was. My mum had a Mark III Astra, so it had a fairly similar face to this. Many happy memories of that car, sadly lost to the scrappage scheme of 2009. Aston Martin Vantage Spider. Rover V8 Ooh, Rover. I like Rover V8s. They do sound good. Of course, the story of those, Buick was throwing out an engine. Somebody from Rover happened to see it in a skip in, I think it was Detroit or Michigan or something like that. And then they bought the rights to the design and used it in Rover cars and British Leyland cars, and it was very successful. Triumph Stag. Lovely green car. Love this actually. Little stag engraved in there. That's cool. Cadillac Sedan de Ville. Of course, Ville meaning town in French, so sedan of town. Massive bench seats going all the way across. Steering wheel. Love these American style steering wheels, they're really cool. And the speedometer as well. Quarter lights. An old Ford V8. I'm not quite sure which model this is. It's from Devices apparently. Very cool. Of course, these things would often be hot rodded. This may well be a hot rod given the size of the brakes in there. I imagine the engine probably isn't standard anyway. Cool looking car. 1930s design, I would imagine. We have found a Honda Super Snipe. Another large saloon. Heated rear window though. Looks like it may have been an aftermarket edition on this car. Been to Brooklands this one. Nope, this car's about to head out. Let's have a quick look at that before it does. It's a Plymouth. Again, a brand I don't know too much about. Not too knowledgeable on my Americana. Either way, it's got a logo there saying Deluxe Taxis, and they got a massive dog in the back. Right, MGTF. Grey on this is cool. Love the interior. MG X-Power Bear. Very cool. I'm sure Lewis Macklin of Macklin's Motors will appreciate the MG Bear. Slightly faded badge on the side. That's the same badge I've got on the side of the Mini. Now this is a Mini based kit car. And it's a little bit different, you see. It's a pickup with a hydraulic bed, basically. Although there's quite a lot of room under here as well to store things. So in a way, it's a 2-in-1. Plenty of mini running gear inside there. Got a beer mat, seats, plenty of stickers all over it as well, from various different brands. Sunbeam Rapier. Loving the colour on this one. Wing mirrors. Won't send too much, he's on the phone. Fuel filler cap. Love the wheel trims on this. Really cool. White wall tyres, of course. Contrasting blue. And it's convertible as well. Obviously not down at the minute. Porsche Boxster S. And the contrast of red with black wheels. I brought the Mini along to the show today. Of course, the best Mini here. No objections to that, I'm quite sure. Running her yellow lights again. Plenty of cars just leaving. An MG Magnet that's parked next to us. Vauxhall Cresta. Still sporting the 30th celebration graphics for Mini's 30th birthday. And why wouldn't you? A little bit mucky, it would seem. But I've actually got the bonnet open, and I've even got this in here. A little bit of shameless promotion, so why not? An Elvis open top car. Lovely interior on this one. Elvis 1270. Love this. So open. Look at the wooden dashboard. Well, I can imagine this is a penny if you leave something small right at the bottom. MGC 1968 automatic gearbox. Another those auto gear shifts. Ford Capri. The same type that Del Boy had in the popular series Only Fools and Horses. Seat covers on. Look at all these. Lotus Esprit, styled by Giugiaro. Same sort of colour as the one used in James Bond. 1977, this one. The Esprit was designed by Lotus to be a little bit more upmarket than their previous cars, the Elan and Europa. It was to sort of move away from the kit car based image that they built up for themselves over the years. And what a way to do it. I think for the rest of this show, because it's sort of thinning out quite quickly as the day goes on. Unfortunately, when you're filming, you end up chatting to a lot of the owners, which is absolutely lovely, but a lot of people tend to leave in that time, to say the least. So what I'm going to do is just go in between the two rows as we go down, because it's thinned out quite a lot. Rover Mini Cabriolet, this one being NREG. This one's called Herbie. Steering lock on this one. Radio, obviously injection mini, so no choke on this. Huge hood for the soft top. Obviously same boot size as usual. Slightly wider body kit. I do like these little cars. A Buick Skylark. Skylark Custom, even. Massive American thing. Custom drinks tray and just a little holder of some sort. Brake release. Oh, that must be the handbrake. Looks like a 5-seater. Why wouldn't it be? It's huge. Again, that typical American style of speedometer. 1969 this car. One of only 6,552 produced. It's 5.7 litre V8. Crikey. Another Triumph Stag. I think this is about the 4th or 5th one we've seen here today so far. Lovely wheels. Very nice looking car. A Land Rover. Spare wheel on the bonnet. It's actually a good storage placement on these. Of course, the window slightly just below the wheel, so it's still got plenty of visibility. A little side vent. This one looks beautiful. I'd imagine this one's been restored at some point. Looks very clean under there, so that almost suggests yes. An MG. Another Magnet by the looks of it. They've got a Model T Ford for sale for £12,500. Quite heavily modified Volkswagen Golf. This is an R. Been tuned by Revo. Slammed, massive wheels, splitter, carbon fibre bonnet, and all this carbon fibre stuff on top of here in place of the usual plastics. Triumph Stag in a maroony colour. Nissan Skyline. It's like an R33. Not too high up on my Skyline knowledge. 2.8 litre. It's like a Jaguar. There you go. Problem is with these, of course, usually shared with Daimler, so very, very difficult to tell at a show, especially when you're just looking around on your own. An Opel. Well, it says Opel down there, but it's actually a Vauxhall Cavalier. 3-door. Massive exhaust. This is lovely though. Alfa Romeo 1750cc. Designed by Bertoni. Gorgeous little car, this one. And a small selection of Chrysler PT Cruisers. Peugeot 205 GTI 1.6 litre just leaving. This is another 1.6 but in white GTI. Love the little graphics down there. Do like the 205. Of course, drove one not too long ago on the channel. 1.1 litre Mardi Gras edition. A 1.9 GTI. Of course, the holy grail of these things. Everyone wanted the 1.9. 306 XSI. This is the Peugeot Sport Club UK stand. Audi Club with a couple of TTs. This one being a Quattro Sport 240. Number 62 apparently. A3 or S3, one of the two. TTS, slightly later version than those ones. Love the blue on it. Silver mirror caps. Very large brakes, of course. Shares a lot of its underpinnings with the Volkswagen Golf. MG midget by the looks of it. Audi S-Line. Have a look around it. An A6. BMW 3 Series. Ford Focus. Volkswagen Golf. Ford Mondeo with a very purple theme under the bonnet. And a purple sloth. I'm pretty sure I've seen this car before at Castle Combe Halloween Action Day, I think it was. Fiat 127. Either way, even if I haven't, either way, even if I haven't, it's absolutely glorious. Loving the colour on this, of course. A group of MG midgets and Austin Healey Sprite. There's a frog eye at the end with its froggy face. A couple of MGBs over there at the back. An MGF. Jaguar Mark II. Very lovely. The wheels on that look very much like the E-Types ones over there. And there. And the XK. And everything that's here. BMW M2. Mini John Cooper Works. An AC Cobra. This is another kit car. AK Sports Cars 427. Edelbrock unit. A Volvo Amazon. Love the face on these things. Classic Volvo. Honda Civic Type R. BMW 5 Series, this one. Great shape. This car is alarmed. Tesla Model 3, showing off the latest of the new generation electric cars. An Overfinch Range Rover, of course, Overfinch being one of those companies that does its own little things with it, tuning, tweaks the interior, that kind of thing. Look at all the wood going on in there. A Mini Roadster, this being Cooper S spec. Of course, engines developed between Peugeot and BMW on these ones. The BMW engine cars, basically the Minis and I think lower spec BMWs, if they were putting those, not quite sure. The BMW ones were usually a little bit more reliable. BMW often use their own parts on it, which for some reason were just a little bit more reliable than the Peugeot cars and Citroën. Mercedes, a Volkswagen Golf GTI. But as everything is leaving and this show is sort of bringing itself to a close, let's have one final look at a glorious engine bay. Just look at that though. Shiny, no plastic in sight whatsoever. Fantastic. And here's the face of the Mark II. I do like the Mark II. It's a gorgeous looking little car. Pretty quick as well. Spacious. And this one has a tow bar for extra practicality. I imagine probably tows a small caravan or something like that. Lovely. And that was the very first Wilton Dorset motor car show. And so that brings an end to our Wilton Dorset motor car show walk around. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to hit like, comment down below which was your favourite car here. I quite like this XR2, and of course you want to see more car-based content even, don't forget to click subscribe because there's plenty more videos coming up. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you again soon. Until then, farewell.